The gymnasium is silent except for 400 pairs of small feet shuffling into rows. Morning assembly. Jefferson Middle School, Minnesota. A woman in a navy blazer stands at the front, badge on her chest, American flag in her hand, 23 years in education, 8 years as principal of this school. The double doors swing open. 4 men in tactical vests walk in. Ice patches visible, hands near their belts. 400 children stop moving. The lead agent points directly at her. "We need you to come with us now." She does not run, does not cry, does not beg. She lowers the flag carefully, folds it once, hands it to a frozen teacher beside her. Then she walks toward them. What they do not know, what no one in that room knows yet, is that this woman was born in Chicago. Her father served 22 years in the United States Army. Her documents are flawless. And she has spent her entire career teaching children one lesson: power without accountability always pays a price. Today, these men will learn that lesson themselves. 5:47 in the morning. The Minnesota sky is still black. Temperature sits at 19 degrees. Wind cuts across the empty parking lot of Jefferson Middle School like a blade searching for skin. A single car pulls in. Gray Honda Accord, 8 years old, clean. The driver does not rush. She gathers her bag, checks her phone once. Steps out into the cold. Principal Denise Ackefer, 52 years old, navy blazer, pressed slacks. Low heels that click against the frozen asphalt. She walks toward the side entrance the same way she has walked for 8 years, steady, unhurried, like a woman who knows exactly where she belongs. The security guard inside sees her coming. He unlocks the door before she reaches it. "Morning, Principal Ackefer." "Morning, Samuel. How is your daughter? The fever break yet?" Samuel pauses. He mentioned his daughter once, 3 weeks ago, in passing. "She's better, thank you for remembering." Denise nods, moves on. The hallways are dark, empty. Her heels echo against the linoleum. She passes the trophy case. State academic decathlon champions, 2 years running, her doing. She passes the attendance board, 94% this semester, highest in the district, also her doing. 8 years ago, Jefferson Middle School was failing. Test scores in the bottom 15%. Teacher turnover at 40% annually. Parents who could afford it sent their children elsewhere. The state had begun discussions about closure. Then Denise Ackefer arrived. No speeches, no slogans, no promises she could not keep, just work. She restructured the curriculum, fired 3 teachers who had stopped trying, recruited young educators and gave them room to grow. She learned every student's name, every parent's concern, every janitor's birthday. Within 4 years, Jefferson was removed from the watch list. Within 6, it ranked in the top 20% statewide. No one wrote articles about her. No one gave her awards. She did not ask for them. She asked only to be allowed to do her job. By 6:15, the first teachers begin arriving. They see her office light already on. They see her silhouette behind the glass, reviewing files, preparing for the day. They do not interrupt. By 7, students begin trickling through the front doors. Backpacks and winter coats, tired eyes and unfinished homework. They pass the main office and glance inside. Some wave. She waves back. A 7th grader named Marcus Thompson stops at her door. He is holding a crumpled permission slip. "Principal Ackefer, I forgot to get this signed. My mom works nights. She was asleep when I left." Denise looks at the slip. "Field trip to the Science Museum." She looks at Marcus. "Good kid, tries hard. Mother works 2 jobs. I will call her this morning. If she gives verbal consent, you can go." Marcus exhales. "Thank you, do not thank me. Finish your homework before the trip." He nods and disappears down the hall. Denise returns to her paperwork. 7:23. The bell rings for first movement. 7:31. Teachers take attendance. 7:45. The gymnasium begins filling for morning assembly. Everything is normal. Everything is exactly as it should be. Denise Ackefer stands from her desk, straightens her blazer, picks up the American flag she will carry to the stage. She has no idea that in 12 minutes her life will change forever. The gymnasium at Jefferson Middle School holds 412 students when filled to capacity. This morning, 407 are present. They sit in rows on the wooden bleachers, 6th graders on the left, 7th graders in the middle, 8th graders on the right. Teachers stand at intervals along the edges, watching, waiting. The room smells of floor wax and adolescent energy. Morning assembly is a ritual. It has been since Denise Acaffer instituted it in her second year. Every Tuesday and Thursday, 15 minutes. Pledge of allegiance, announcements, occasionally a student performance or recognition. Some principals abandoned assemblies years ago. Too much trouble, too hard to control. Denise kept them. She believed in rituals, in the power of gathering, in the message it sent when 400 children stood together and spoke the same words. At 7:46, she enters through the side door. The room quiets, not because she demands it, because they respect her. She walks to the small stage at the front. American flag in her hand, microphone waiting on the stand. Behind her, the school banner hangs from the wall. Jefferson Jaguars, excellence through effort. She reaches the microphone, adjusts it slightly, looks out at the rows of young faces. Good morning, Jefferson. 400 voices respond in unison. Good morning, Principal Acaffer. She allows herself a small nod. This is her favorite moment of the week. Before the announcements, before the business, just this. Connection. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. The sound of 400 students rising, the shuffle of feet, the creak of bleachers. Denise raises the flag, and then the double doors at the back of the gymnasium open. The sound is wrong, too hard, too fast. Denise's eyes move to the entrance. Her hands remain steady on the flag. 4 men walk in. They wear tactical vests, dark jackets, boots that echo against the gymnasium floor. On their chests, 3 letters are visible even from 50 feet away. ICE. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The students do not understand. Not yet. They turn to look. Some whisper, some giggle nervously. The teachers understand. Their faces change. Mrs. Patterson, the vice principal, takes a step forward, then stops, uncertain. The 4 agents walk down the center aisle between the rows of children. Their eyes are fixed on the stage, fixed on Denise. She does not move, does not lower the flag, does not blink. The lead agent reaches the front of the gymnasium. He is tall, white, mid-40s. His expression is flat, professional, cold. He stops 5 feet from the stage. The gymnasium is silent now. 400 children holding their breath. Teachers frozen along the walls. The agent speaks. His voice carries across the room. Principal Acaffer, it is not a question. Yes, we have information regarding your immigration status. We need you to step outside with us. Now, Denise looks at him, at the badge on his chest, at the weapon on his hip. The 3 men standing behind him. Then she looks past them, at the rows of children, at their wide eyes, their confusion, their fear. These are her students, this is her school, and these men have just walked into it like they own it. She lowers the flag slowly, folds it once, hands it to Mrs. Patterson, who has climbed onto the stage beside her. Mrs. Patterson, please continue the assembly. Her voice does not waver. She steps down from the stage. The lead agent gestures toward the door. Ma'am. Now, Denise Acaffer walks toward the exit, back straight, head high. 400 children watch her go. She is halfway down the center aisle when Mrs. Patterson finds her voice. Wait, you cannot just, the lead agent turns. His hand rises, a warning. Ma'am, do not interfere. This is a federal matter. Mrs. Patterson stops. Her mouth opens, closes. She looks at Denise. Denise gives a small shake of her head. Not now, not here. She keeps walking. The students are silent. But their silence has a texture. Denise can feel it pressing against her skin. Confusion, fear, the beginning of something that will not be easily undone. A 6th grader in the 3rd row begins to cry, quiet sobs, shoulders shaking. Denise does not look, cannot look. If she looks, she will stop. And if she stops, this will become something worse. She reaches the double doors. The agents form around her, 2 in front, 2 behind. The lead agent pushes the door open. The hallway is empty. Fluorescent lights buzz overhead. Denise's heels click against the linoleum. The same sound she heard this morning, but everything is different now. They walk toward the main entrance, past the trophy case, past the attendance board, past the office where she sat 2 hours ago reviewing permission slips. Denise speaks. Her voice is calm, controlled. I would like to see your credentials. The lead agent does not slow down. You will see everything you need to see outside. I would like to see them now. He stops. Turns, his eyes meet hers. For a moment something passes between them, not respect, not recognition, something closer to assessment. He is measuring her, deciding what kind of problem she will be. He reaches into his jacket, pulls out a badge, holds it up for exactly 2 seconds. Supervisory Agent Thomas Garrett, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Satisfied, Denise memorizes the name, the badge number, the face. No, Garrett's jaw tightens. Ma'am, we have credible information that you are unlawfully present in the United States. We are detaining you for verification purposes. You can cooperate or this can become more difficult, your choice. Denise does not flinch. I'm a United States citizen, born in Chicago, Illinois, Cook County Hospital, March 14, 1971. My father is Sergeant Major Emmanuel Acaffer, United States Army, retired, 22 years of service. I have committed no crime. I have violated no law, and you are making a mistake. Garrett smirks. It is a small expression, brief, but Denise sees it. They all say that, ma'am. He turns and continues walking. Denise follows, not because she wants to, because she understands what resistance will cost, not to her, to the children still sitting in that gymnasium, to the teachers who will have to explain what they saw. She will not give these men a story of violence. She will not give them justification. She will give them nothing but her dignity. They exit through the main doors. The cold hits her like a physical force. She is not wearing a coat, left it in her office. The parking lot is no longer empty. Two black SUVs sit near the entrance, government plates. An agent leans against the hood of one, speaking into a radio. Garrett leads Denise to the space between the vehicles, stops, faces her. Documents, in my office. Someone will retrieve them. He nods to one of the other agents, who turns and walks back into the building. Denise stands in the cold, hands at her sides, wind cutting through her blazer. Minutes pass. Inside the school, she knows what is happening. Mrs. Patterson trying to maintain order, teachers answering questions they cannot answer, students texting parents, the machinery of chaos beginning to turn. And somewhere in that gymnasium, a sixth grader named Amelia Washington is holding her phone low, hidden behind the backpack of the student in front of her. Recording. She does not know she is making history. Does not know that the video she captures, shaky, poorly lit, emotionally devastating, will be viewed by millions within 48 hours. She only knows that something wrong is happening and someone should see it. The agent returns from the building. He carries Denise's purse, her coat, a folder from her desk. Garrett takes the folder, opens it, finds her driver's license, her passport copy, employment records. He examines them for a long moment. Then he pulls out his phone and makes a call. Denise watches, waits. The cold seeps into her bones, but she does not shiver. She will not give them that either. The verification call takes 11 minutes. Denise knows because she counts the seconds. It is the only thing she can control. Garrett paces near the SUV, phone pressed to his ear. His voice is low, but she catches fragments. Chicago, birth certificate. Yes, I understand. No, she claims. Right, okay. The other agents stand in a loose formation, watching her. Watching the school. One of them shifts his weight from foot to foot. The cold is getting to him too. Denise does not move. At minute 14, a parent's car pulls into the lot, then another. Word is spreading. Someone called, someone texted. The machinery is turning faster now. A woman gets out of a silver minivan, sees Denise standing between the federal vehicles. Stops, stares. Denise does not acknowledge her, cannot afford to. At minute 23, a news van appears at the edge of the parking lot. White, Channel 9 logo on the side. It parks near the street, does not approach, but the camera is already pointed at her. At minute 31, Garrett ends his call. He does not approach Denise immediately. Instead, he speaks quietly to one of his agents. Their expressions shift. Something has changed. At minute 38, another call comes in. Garrett answers, listens. His face loses color. Denise watches, waits. At minute 42, Garrett walks toward her. His stride is different now. Less certain. The smirk is gone. He stops 3 feet away. Mrs. Acaffer, Principal Acaffer. A pause. Principal Acaffer, there has been a verification has come through. You are confirmed as a United States citizen. Born Chicago. No outstanding warrants. No immigration violations. He pauses. You are free to go. Denise looks at him, at this man who walked into her school, who took her from her students, who made her stand in the cold for 47 minutes while he decided whether she belonged in her own country. An error. Garrett's jaw tightens. The information we received indicated you received a tip, anonymous I assume, and on that basis you entered a school during assembly. You detained a principal in front of 400 children. You did not verify before you acted. You verified after. She takes a step toward him. Her voice does not rise, it lowers. You humiliated me. You traumatized my students. You disrupted an institution of learning, and you did it because someone made a phone call. Garrett says nothing. I asked to see credentials. You showed me a badge for 2 seconds. I told you I was a citizen. You said they all say that. She pauses. Do you remember saying that, Agent Garrett? His silence is answer enough. I want the name of the person who filed the tip. That information is confidential. Then I will obtain it through discovery. Garrett blinks. Denise holds his gaze for a long moment. Then she turns, walks toward the school entrance. Halfway there, she stops, turns back. Agent Garrett, he looks at her. My father landed at Normandy with the 320th Barrage Balloon Battalion. He served this country when this country would not serve him. He raised me to believe in its laws, its principles, its capacity for justice. She pauses. I still believe that, but today you made it harder. She walks into the school. The cameras capture her back, straight, unbowed. She does not see the footage until later. Does not know that this moment, her walking away from the men who tried to diminish her, will become the defining image of the case. She only knows that her hands are shaking for the first time all morning. Denise does not sleep that night. She lies in her bed, eyes open, ceiling dark above her. The events replay in fragments, the gymnasium doors opening, the agent's smirk. 400 pairs of eyes watching her walk away. They all say that. At 4 in the morning, she gives up, gets out of bed. Makes coffee she will not drink, sits at her kitchen table in the dark. Her phone has been buzzing since yesterday afternoon. She turned it off at midnight. The voicemails exceeded capacity hours ago. She does not check them. At 6 she showers, dresses, the same routine, navy blazer, pressed slacks, low heels, the armor she has worn for 23 years. She drives to school. The parking lot is different. News vans line the street, 3 of them now. Reporters stand in clusters, breath fogging in the cold air. When they see her car, they move toward the entrance. She parks in her usual spot, sits for a moment, then she gets out. The questions come like gunfire. Principal Acaffer, how do you feel about what happened? Are you planning to file a lawsuit? Do you have a message for ICE? She walks past them, does not speak, does not slow. Inside, the school is quiet, too quiet. The hallways that usually buzz with energy feel muted, careful. Teachers stand in doorways. They watch her pass. Some nod, some look away. She reaches her office, closes the door, sits. Her hands are trembling again. A knock. Mrs. Patterson enters without waiting for a response. She carries 2 cups of coffee, sets one on Denise's desk. 34 students absent today. Parents called them in. 15 transfer requests already submitted to the district. Denise nods. She expected this. The board is asking for a statement. The superintendent called twice. I will speak with him this afternoon. Denise. Mrs. Patterson's voice softens. How are you? The question hangs in the air. Denise looks at the coffee, at the steam rising from it, at the window where morning light is beginning to creep through the blinds. I am here, she says finally. That will have to be enough for now. Mrs. Patterson leaves. The door closes. Denise sits alone. At 10:15, she opens her phone, scrolls through the notifications. The video has reached 3 million views. Comments number in the thousands. She does not read them. At 11, she makes a phone call. The number she has dialed perhaps 100 times in her life. It rings twice. Denise. Her father's voice, 81 years old, still strong, still steady. Dad. Silence. He waits. He has always known when to wait. They came to my school during assembly in front of the children. She tells him everything, the agents, the verification, the 47 minutes. She tells him what she said to Garrett. What Garrett said to her. When she finishes, the line is quiet, then her father speaks. You remember what I told you when you were 12, when those boys called you what they called you? She remembers. You said dignity is not given, it is maintained. That is right. Another pause. You maintained it, Denise. You maintained it when they did not deserve it. That is who you are. That is who I raised. Her throat tightens. But now you have a choice. You can let this pass, let it fade. Go back to your work and hope they forget. Some people would, some people should. He pauses. But you are not some people, you never have been. Denise closes her eyes. You know what you have to do. She does. She has known since the moment she walked back into the school, since the moment she saw the fear in her students' eyes, since the moment she understood that silence would not repair what was broken. "I am not doing this for me," she says. "I know. I am doing this because if I do not, they will do it again, to someone else, in another school, in front of other children. IKN." Now, she takes a breath. "I love you, Dad. I love you too. Now go to work." The line goes dead. Denise sets down the phone. She opens her laptop, types a name into the search bar. Maya Richardson, civil rights attorney, Minneapolis. She finds the number. She dials. Maya Richardson's office is on the 14th floor of a building downtown. Glass walls, clean lines, view of the Mississippi River. Denise sits across from her at a conference table. Between them, a folder. Inside the folder, everything. Maya is 46 years old, Harvard Law, 15 years of civil rights litigation. She has argued before the Eighth Circuit twice and won both times. She reads the documents without speaking. Driver's license, passport, birth certificate, employment records spanning 23 years. Then she reads the incident report Denise has written, 4 pages, single-spaced, every detail preserved. When she finishes, she looks up. "Tell me about the tip. I do not know who filed it, but you suspect." Denise pauses. 3 months ago, I had a meeting with a parent, Richard Brennan. His son had been bullying a Somali student, using language I will not repeat. I called the meeting to discuss consequences. How did he react? He said I was being too sensitive, that I was targeting his son because of my own background. He asked if I was even from this country. Maya writes something on her legal pad. I told him his son would be suspended for 3 days. He said he would make me regret it. Did he specify how? No, he left. I did not see him again until the parent-teacher conference 6 weeks later. He did not speak to me directly. Maya nods, sets down her pen. "We will subpoena the tip records. If it was Brennan, we will find out, and if it was, then we add him to the complaint. Filing a false report with federal authorities is a crime, and if he did it with racial animus, we have additional claims." Denise absorbs this. What about the district? Security coordinator let the agents in without verifying their authority, without contacting the superintendent, without following any established protocol. The district is liable for his actions. And ICE, Maya leans back. This is where it gets complicated. Federal agencies have immunities, but qualified immunity does not protect clearly unconstitutional conduct, entering a school without a warrant, detaining a citizen without probable cause, doing it in front of 400 children. She pauses. They did not just make a mistake, Denise. They made a choice. They chose to act on an anonymous tip without verification. They chose to humiliate you publicly. They chose to traumatize an entire school. What are we asking for? Maya slides a document across the table. Compensatory damages for emotional distress, reputational harm, and lost income if you choose to take leave. Punitive damages to deter future conduct. Injunctive relief requiring new protocols for actions at educational institutions. Denise looks at the numbers. And declaratory judgment, Maya adds. A formal court ruling that what they did was unconstitutional. That matters more than the money. It becomes precedent. Denise is quiet for a long moment. "I'm not doing this to get rich. I know. I am doing this because next time it might be a teacher, a student's parent, someone who does not have documentation. Someone who cannot fight back." Maya nods. "Then let us build a case they cannot ignore." She opens a fresh legal pad. "Start from the beginning, every detail, every word you remember, every face you saw." Denise begins. 3 hours later, they have 42 pages of notes, a timeline, a witness list, a document request. The case is not won, it is not even filed yet, but it is built on something solid, the truth. The subpoenas go out on a Tuesday. 3 weeks later, the documents begin arriving. Maya's conference room becomes a war room. Boxes of files, stacks of transcripts, printouts covering every surface. Denise comes in the evenings. After school, she reads until midnight, goes home, sleeps for 4 hours, returns to work. The first deposition is the security coordinator, Harold Webb, 58 years old, 18 years with the district. He sits across from Maya in a small room, court reporter in the corner. Denise watches through a video feed in an adjacent office. Maya's voice is calm, almost gentle. "Mr. Webb, when the ICE agents arrived at Jefferson Middle School, what did they present to you?" "They showed badges, said they needed to speak with the principal." "Did they have a warrant?" Pause. I do not recall asking. You do not recall. So you allowed 4 federal agents into a school during assembly without verifying their legal authority. They were federal agents. I assumed you assumed. Did you contact the superintendent? No. Did you contact the school board? No. Did you contact Principal Akafer to inform her that agents were coming? No. Maya leans forward. M. R. Webb, in your 18 years with the district, have you ever allowed law enforcement into a school during operational hours without notifying administration? Long pause. No. Then why did you do it this time? Webb's attorney objects. Relevance. Maya withdraws the question, but she has made her point. The second deposition is Richard Brennan. He is heavier than Denise remembers. Red-faced. Sweating despite the air conditioning. His attorney has advised him to deny everything. But the tip records have already been subpoenaed, the phone number traced. Maya does not need his confession, she needs his demeanor on the record. Mr. Brennan, you met with Principal Akafer on October 14th of last year, correct? I do not remember the exact date, let me refresh your memory. She slides a document across the table. This is the meeting request form. Your signature is at the bottom, October 14th. He glances at it. Okay, yes. During that meeting, did you make any comments about Principal Akafer's national origin? I do not recall. Let me help you recall. Another document. This is a contemporaneous memo written by Vice Principal Patterson, who was present. She writes, Mr. Brennan asked Principal Akafer if she was even from this country. He stated that she should go back where she came from. Brennan's face reddens. I was upset. My son was being unfairly targeted. Your son was suspended for calling a Somali student a terrorist and telling him to go back to his cave. Is that correct? His attorney objects. Maya moves on. Mr. Brennan. On November 29th, an anonymous tip was placed to ICE's hotline claiming that the principal of Jefferson Middle School was an undocumented immigrant using fraudulent documents. The call was traced to a phone number registered to your wife. Silence. Do you have any knowledge of that call? His attorney leans in. Brennan nods. On advice of counsel, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. Maya smiles just slightly. No further questions. That night, Denise sits alone in her apartment. The transcripts are spread across her kitchen table. Webb, Brennan, the ICE agents who still have not been deposed. The betrayal is vast, institutional, personal. She considers for the first time whether she should simply settle, take whatever they offer, move on. She is tired, bone tired. The kind of tired that sleep cannot fix. Then she sees the letter. It arrived 3 days ago. She set it aside, forgot about it, handwritten, careful letters, a child's handwriting. Dear Principal Akafer, I was in the gym when they took you. I was really scared. I cried when I got home. My mom said you did something wrong, but I do not believe her. I think you are a good person. You always tell us to stand up for what is right. You say that is what brave people do. I hope you are being brave too. Please do not sit down. Love, Amelia Washington, 6th grade. Denise reads it 3 times, then she picks up her phone. Maya, it is Denise. Everything okay? We are going to trial. 14 months after the morning assembly, the case goes to trial. Federal District Court, Minneapolis. Judge Alina Vasquez presiding. The courtroom is full. Reporters in the gallery. Cameras allowed for the first time in the district's history. National attention. Denise sits at the plaintiff's table. Navy blazer, hair pulled back, hands folded. She has not been inside this building before, but she knows how to sit in a room where everyone is watching. She has done it for 23 years. Maya's opening statement takes 47 minutes. She walks the jury through every moment. The anonymous tip, the lack of verification, the entry into a school during assembly, the 47 minutes in the parking lot. She shows them the video. The shaky footage from Amelia Washington's phone. 400 children watching their principal escorted out by armed federal agents. Some jurors look away. One wipes her eyes. The defense argues mistake, good faith. The difficulty of immigration enforcement, the impossible task of verifying every claim. Judge Vasquez listens without expression. The witnesses come one by one. Mrs. Patterson, her voice breaks when she describes the assembly. The children crying. The chaos after Denise was taken. Harold Webb, nervous, defensive. His own testimony from deposition played back to him when he contradicts himself. Agent Thomas Garrett, calm, professional, unapologetic. Maya cross-examines him for 2 hours. Agent Garrett, before entering Jefferson Middle School, did you verify the tip that Principal Acaffer was an undocumented immigrant? We had credible information. That is not my question. Did you verify it? Pause. Verification was ongoing, so the answer is no. The answer is that we were acting on available intelligence. Maya nods, and that intelligence was an anonymous phone call. Anonymous tips are a standard tool, a standard too. All tell me, Agent Garrett, in your 18 years with ICE, how many times have you entered a school during operational hours to detain someone? He considers. I would have to check my records. Let me help you. 0. This was the first time. Correct. Silence. Correct. I believe so. And you chose to do it during morning assembly, in front of 400 children, in front of news cameras that happened to be nearby because a 6th grader was filming on her phone. We did not know about the cameras, but you knew there were children, yes. And you detained a woman for 47 minutes in a parking lot in 19-degree weather without a coat. She was provided her coat after 31 minutes when it was retrieved from her office. Garrett's jaw tightens. And when verification came through, when you learned she was a United States citizen born in Chicago, father a decorated Army veteran, what did you say to her? Pause. I informed her she was free to go. You informed her. Did you apologize? Long pause. I do not recall. Maya lets the silence stretch. No further questions. On the 5th day of trial, Denise takes the stand. She speaks for 3 hours. She describes her career, 23 years of teaching, the schools she has served, the students she has helped. She describes the morning of the assembly, the flag in her hand, the doors opening, the agent pointing at her. She describes the walk through the gymnasium, the faces of her students, the sound of a child crying. She describes the 47 minutes, the cold, the waiting, the smirk on Garrett's face when she told him she was a citizen. They all say that. She describes the aftermath, the sleepless nights, the anxiety, the parents who pulled their children from her school, the whispers in the hallways. She describes what was taken from her, not money, not position, trust. I built that school, she says. I gave it 8 years of my life. And in 12 minutes they made my students question whether I was a criminal, whether I belonged there, whether I had been lying to them all along. Her voice does not break, her eyes do not water. Some of those children still look at me differently, some of their parents still wonder, and no verdict, no amount of money will ever fully repair that. The defense attorney rises for cross-examination. He asks about the meeting with Brennan, about the suspension of his son, about whether Denise has any bias against white parents. Denise answers calmly, precisely, without emotion. When he finishes, he has not laid a glove on her. Maya has no redirect. Denise steps down from the witness stand. As she returns to her seat, she passes the jury box. One juror, an older black man in the back row, nods at her, just once. She sits down. Maya squeezes her hand under the table. Closing arguments take the next morning. By 2 in the afternoon, the jury retires to deliberate. Denise waits in a small room adjacent to the courtroom. Coffee she does not drink. Window overlooking the city. She thinks about Amelia Washington, about her father, about every child who has ever sat in her assembly hall. She waits. 6 hours and 14 minutes. That is how long the jury deliberates. When the bailiff announces they have reached a verdict, Denise is standing at the window, watching the sun set over Minneapolis, orange and red bleeding across the winter sky. She turns, walks back to the courtroom. The gallery is packed, more reporters than before, cameras rolling. She takes her seat at the plaintiff's table, Maya beside her. The jury files in, 12 faces, unreadable. Judge Vasquez speaks. Members of the jury, have you reached a verdict? The foreperson stands. A middle-aged white woman in a blue sweater. We have, Your Honor. She hands the verdict form to the bailiff. The bailiff hands it to the judge. Judge Vasquez reads it silently. Her expression does not change. She hands it back. The defendant will please rise. The attorneys for ICE, the agents, and the school district stand. The foreperson reads. In the matter of Acaffer versus United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, et al., we the jury find as follows. Pause. On the claim of Fourth Amendment violation against Agent Thomas Garrett and Agent Michael Sullivan, liable. On the claim of negligent supervision against the Minneapolis Field Office of ICE, liable. On the claim of civil rights violation under Section 1983 against Harold Webb and the Jefferson School District, liable. Each word lands like a stone in still water. On the question of damages, we award the plaintiff as follows. Compensatory damages, $2.4 million. Punitive damages, $5.5 million. Denise does not move. Total award $7.9 million. The gallery erupts, reporters typing, cameras flashing, whispers becoming voices. Judge Vasquez strikes her gavel. Order, order in the court. Silence returns. The judge. G continues. Her voice is measured, but there is something in it, something that sounds almost like satisfaction. This court further orders declaratory relief. The actions taken by the defendants on the morning of November 30th were unconstitutional. They violated the Fourth Amendment rights of the plaintiff. They caused irreparable harm to an educational institution and to the children who witnessed them. She pauses. The court recommends that the Department of Homeland Security review its protocols for enforcement actions in educational settings. No child should witness what the children of Jefferson Middle School witnessed that day. She strikes the gavel once more. This court is adjourned. The room erupts again. Maya turns to Denise. Her eyes are bright. We did it. Denise nods, but she does not smile, does not celebrate. She looks across the courtroom. At Agent Garrett, he is gathering his papers. His face is blank, controlled. He does not look at her. Outside, the cameras wait. Reporters shout questions. Principal Acaffer, how does it feel? What will you do with the money? Do you have a message for ICE? Denise stops at the top of the courthouse steps. Maya beside her, she speaks. Her voice carries across the crowd. I did not fight for money. I fought so that no other educator, no other parent, no other citizen has to experience what I experienced. I fought so that when the next anonymous tip comes in, someone will pause, someone will verify, someone will remember that there are consequences. She pauses. Justice is not revenge. Justice is accountability. Today, accountability was delivered. She turns, walks down the steps. A reporter shouts after her. How do you feel, Principal Acaffer? She does not turn around. Under her breath, almost to herself, she answers. Tired. I feel tired. 6 months later. Cold Minnesota morning. Temperature at 22 degrees. Wind cutting across the parking lot of Jefferson Middle School. A gray Honda Accord pulls into its usual spot. 8 years old now, still clean. The driver gathers her bag, checks her phone once, steps out into the cold. Principal Denise Acaffer, navy blazer, pressed slacks. Low heels clicking against the frozen asphalt. She walks toward the side entrance. The security guard sees her coming, unlocks the door. Morning, Principal Acaffer. Morning, Samuel. She moves through the empty hallways, past the trophy case, past the attendance board, past the office where everything began. By 7:45, the gymnasium is filling. 419 students today. The highest attendance since the incident. Transfers have returned. New families have enrolled. Denise stands at the side door, watching. Mrs. Patterson approaches. Ready? Denise nods. She enters the gymnasium. The room quiets, not from fear, from respect. She walks to the small stage at the front, American flag in her hand, microphone waiting. She looks out at the rows of faces. Some she recognizes, some are new, all of them watching. Good morning, Jefferson. Good morning, Principal Acaffer. The unison is strong, clear, the sound she has built over 8 years. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. 400 students rise. Denise raises the flag. No cameras today. No reporters, no agents, just her. And the children. And the work that remains. She leads the pledge, her voice steady, her hands still. When it ends, she lowers the flag. Before announcements, I want to say something. The room is silent. Many of you were here on the day I was taken from this stage. Some of you have joined us since, but all of you know what happened. She pauses. I'm not going to talk about the trial or the verdict or the money. Those things are finished. She looks across the rows. I am going to talk about what matters. And what matters is this room, this school, you. She folds the flag carefully, sets it on the podium. Education is not just about tests and grades. It is about learning who you are, learning what you believe, learning to stand up when it would be easier to sit down. She thinks of Amelia Washington, somewhere in the 6th grade section. She does not look for her. I stayed because this is where I belong. And I hope when you face your own hard moments, you will remember belonging is not something others give you, it is something you claim. She picks up the flag again. Now announcements. The assembly continues, ordinary routine. When it ends, the students file out, teachers resume their posts. The day begins. Denise walks back to her office. On her desk there is a new photo, her father in his army uniform, young, strong, the flag behind him. She looks at it for a moment, then she sits down, opens her laptop, begins reviewing the files for the day. Outside her window, the sun rises over Minnesota. Another cold morning, another chance to build something that matters. She gets to work.